Hey guys, welcome back to Be with Esenam. If today happens to be the first time you're watching me, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, share with your loved ones and friends, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. So first off, I'm so sorry my voice is a bit hoarse, or I don't know, is that the right word? Yeah, but then I've not been feeling too well. I've been under the weather. Hey, I'm not pregnant. As a result, I've not been consistent, coupled with other stuff. So I'm gonna give you guys a brief live update, and then we go into today's video. So first off, school has resumed, and I'm wondering why for the past 3.5 or so years I've not felt this pressure like this semester. It's almost like what they say, last days are dangerous. So a lot has been piled on us, like you're working on your projects, assignments are flooding in from all sides at the same time. So there's no time to, have a me time. It's very difficult to vlog, and even when you have the idea, making time to do that has become so difficult, and so you guys should forgive me. One of my goals for this year is to monetize my channel before December and to hit at least 1k subscribers and at least more than 4,000 watch hours, but it's looking difficult. It's not unachievable, although difficult. I'm hoping that I am able to meet these goals before the year, before we get to December, or at least by the time we end up in December, all these goals should be achieved somehow. So the first thing is my busy school schedules and all that comes with it. And then the second would be actually going under training, and this training is termed as School of the Word. Okay, School of the Word. So it's on Saturdays and on Sundays. So it's always like from Mondays to Fridays, work then school, and then the other activities could either be church, or you have to work on your project, or you have to work on an assignment. And then the third thing was that my machine got spoiled, like my laptop got spoiled, so I need to borrow people's own to work on. And then for the most part, I don't really want to take it home, and so I have to stay. And sometimes I stay till like 12 midnight, getting to 1 before I leave campus, because I have to use somebody else's machine to work on my assignments and stuff. And so it has been tedious. It has been like hectic. It has been so frustrating, and that is why you've not been actually getting notifications every now and then. But I hope this ends soon, and thankfully would resume being consistent. Can I hear an amen to that? In all of this, I think learning to be able to work under pressure, it's training me to be able to make critical decisions. Like you just have to decide under pressure, okay, which one am I supposed to work on first, which one am I supposed to do next, and all of that. And I think one way or the other, it's actually building me up in a way. So yeah, I hope it ends soon so that we can resume normalcy and all of that. Yeah, with that said, let's get right into today's video. Yeah. So today's video is more like a reaction video. I think I placed on my status and in a particular group and on my IG page, and the question was, can one fast while it's on her period? So can you, if you're a lady, can you fast if you are on your period? And the answers I got were interesting. I mean, they were so interesting. Some of them I had never heard of until the very day. And so This is just going to be like a reaction. I'm just going to react on, the replies or responses. Yes. And so let's see. So the first person here, Justina, says, I think fasting during period is not okay because, first of all, we women go through a lot of emotions during our period and we are considered not in the right states. Not in the right state, okay? Because our emotions most often affects the people around us. Also, even though some of us lose appetite during that time, it's necessary to be on a good course meal to prevent irregularities in period. Stress can be a reason why you may have an irregular period. Wow. Lastly, as Christians and Muslims, it is forbidden by God or Allah not to fast during periods. So this is a whole lot of information. Like, I'm getting a lot of things from this. So let me break it down. Let me come close. So the first point here is it's not okay. It's not okay. And now she moves on to give us reasons. It says, women go through a lot of emotions during our period and we are considered not in the right state. Not in the right state as in how? As in we cannot make decisions? Is it like, can we say that because of this period, whenever we are on our period, we cannot make right decisions, we are insane? Like, I'm looking for the right word to use, because if we say we are not in our right state of mind,
what do you mean by that?
that means it's like we are going mental. So anybody on their period is, well, I'm just reacting, please don't take offense. But if that's not what it means, well, I don't know, because if I'm not in the right state of mind, that means whatever decision or whatever I do in that period is void, it's null, like it doesn't make sense, it's of no use. That's what I'm trying to say, if that is what it actually means. So she came back to correct what she said. She says the last point she made was, lastly, as Christians and Muslims, it is forbidden by God or Allah not to fast during periods. She said, sorry, the last point, God does not forbid, but considers a woman menstruating unclean. Well, that's Justina's point of view. And I think I've also said what I think. I mean, I've given my reactions squarely and fair. So let's go to the next person. Joseph says, is it Joseph Graphics? Okay, Joseph says, I don't think Christianity has any special rule for menstruation. And what I think is that for Christian women, fasting is only discouraged when they are pregnant or lactating, as they need enough nutrition for themselves and also their babies. Oh, this feels like I should be getting pregnant like every year.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, that's absurd. So it's more like if you want to escape, fasting, get pregnant every year.
Officer, this girl must be crazy.
Oh, please don't take it serious. That's just by the way. Ella says with fasting there are different types. You could go dry, do the Daniel fast, or decide to give something up, like how Catholics do their Lent. So it's a choice. It all depends on you. Abena says if you are in your menses and you want to fast, just go ahead and fast. All these rules of a woman not fasting during her menstrual period were laws of the Old Testament. If you know your Bible well, you will understand what I'm talking about. Hey. Okay, so let's start. If you are in your menses and you want to fast, just go ahead. Okay, that's her opinion. All these rules of a woman not fasting during her menstrual period were laws of the Old Testament. Now, this is where I really want to find out. So, are you saying that there are certain things in the Old Testament, or there are like a lot of things are in there you are not supposed to obey? Because if you are saying that these things were in the Old Testament, so it should be ignored, then you are trying to tell me that other stuffs, including the Abrahamic blessings and all of that in the Old Testament too, should be ignored. Unless, of course, you try to put it down, some of the things, or unless, of course, you tell us that some of the things in the Old Testament should be avoided or something. That one makes it clearer. But if you tell me all these rules were laws of the Old Testament, come on, this was not the only law in the Old Testament. Are you saying that we should reject everything in the Old Testament because there are laws in the Old Testament? Well, let me know what you guys also think in the comment section. I'm just reacting, It's a reaction video, please, in case you've forgotten, before you start judging me. This period thing, the thing is, we have to really understand where the blood is coming from. Where is the period coming from? Is it coming from your entire body? Because whenever we speak of period, we associate it with weakness, nausea, throwing out, vomiting, throwing out, and other stuff like headaches and all of that. Where is the blood coming from? Is it coming from the entire body or like a particular place in the womb area, or how do they even call it? My scientists help us. If it's coming from the entire body, then it makes like a lot of sense if you say, hey, don't eat. But if it's coming from just a particular aspect, like a particular part of your body, then it's like the blood had already been kept there for that period and it's been like disposed. It's like, should I say, excuse my language, going to private, okay? The private has already settled in a particular bowl in your abdomen or stomach or wherever it comes from. So if you are pushing it out, are you pushing everything in your body out? That's how you're supposed to compare. As in, if you're saying that it's not good, well, that's my reaction. I'm just reacting towards that. All right, so let's move to the next person. Okay, so Ellen adds that under normal circumstances, you are not even supposed to go to church when you are in your period. Okay. I can still feel my face, so I'm alive. But some of us here would have been struck dead a long time. Hey! Wow. I'm sure some people do that, like some religions or some churches do that. Yes. And that reminds me, my dad used to go to this church, and then I think if you are a woman and you're in your period, you don't sit in front of the church, you sit behind. That's one. Two, I think you don't, if you are in the pastor's house, you don't cook for the pastor or something. It's so maybe something. Baby, I'm sorry if that's your church or something, but at the moment, at that time, I didn't understand why women who are on their periods were seen as like unclean or something. Ejewa says the New Testament came to change the Old Testament. God is spirit, so God is spirit, so that does not really count. As in, whether you fast during your period or when you're pregnant or whatever, it doesn't really count. Oh wow, God is a spirit, spiritus. Okay, but is that what God said? That's just by the way. Ellen says the depth of period blood hasn't changed. Even ritualists don't like to sacrifice a girl in her period because she's dirty. Is that true? The ritualists. Please, if you know any ritualist, we can ask and then clarify some of the things here. Please help me ask them. Help me ask the ritualists here. If you know any of them, let me know. Help me ask them what they think of this particular point. Hey, but this is serious though. But how did you know that even ritualists don't like to sacrifice a girl in her period? I need to call you for a conversation because this one, I can't think far.
I don't take so. I don't take madness. I don't take far. I don't take so far, minutes.
So Ramwa says, Islamically, it's not okay to fast during your period. Okay, I see. Dory says, why you won't make I die?
You kill me! If you want, you kill me! If you want, you kill me!
How are you going to die? Like, what will make you die when you're on your period and you're fasting? What will make you die? What exactly would cause that? Okay, moving on. McLean says, yes, of course, unless she has health issues. Now, what I don't understand is, McLean, are you a lady? Do you know how it feels like to be on period? Like, do you know how it feels like? The crumbs and everything. So why do you want to say, oh yes, of course? Of course, how? Are you a lady to know how the lady's feeling? Huh? Guys, my reactions are so terrible. But that's what McLean says. And George says, as far as you breathe during your period, it's very much okay to fast. Wow. What if you're in pain? You know, there are people when they're on their periods, like they can't even sit. They are screaming, they are crying because it's so painful. So what about these people? Why would you say that so long as you can breathe? So if I can breathe and I'm in pain, I should keep on fasting during my period? I think I need to see God and ask him some questions myself. Because this one, anyways, that's just by the way. Essie says, losing blood alone makes you weak and kinda ill. Going without food might make you weaker. So this takes me back to where I mentioned, where is the period blood coming from? Is it our entire body, or it has gathered, like it's been gathered at a particular place and it's shedding? Because if it's like the entire body, then it will make sense if you are losing blood from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet and you are weak. But then you're talking about blood the system doesn't need, packed at a particular place, and it's been shed off. How does that make one weak? Like, I just don't understand. Is it how the flow is coming, or the pain, or the pressure that's causing the flow to come that is making us weak, or what? That's what I really don't understand. Well, I need help. So this is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the streets in my next video, maybe campuses whatsoever, whichever one I find, and I would ask their opinions as well. Then in the subsequent videos, we are going to speak with, let's say, a specialist, a doctor or something, to enlighten us more. But I hope my reactions were, normal. They were not out of, context or anything. That's my very first reaction video. And so if it didn't go as you wanted it to go, I'm so sorry. Please take it easy on me, huh? Okay. Yeah, so this is it. And I'm sorry to say, but this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked it and I hope you had fun. If you really liked what you just watched, please subscribe to my channel, share with your loved ones, leave a comment in the comment section. You know, I really love that. Please leave a comment. I beg you, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. It keeps me going. It encourages me. It makes me feel like, yes, you have actually watched or you actually support, and even if it's from a distance, try and comment. Thank you very much. And on this note, don't forget to do you, and do you until my next video. Bye bye.